Hey guys, day 8 of 13 days of Halloween. I am working in my mini handmade watercolor art journal today. So I'm going to take my circle drywall tape and it has like a backer to it. So I have to peel that off and stick it down. It's self-adhesive. And I kind of ripped around the edges so it doesn't have like a straight kind of edge to it. I just want it to look not so straight. So then I'm going to cover everything with a layer of gesso. This is watercolor paper, so the paper would have been fine, but I wanted to make sure that everything was the same kind of uniform white color. And then I'm going to take my Lindy's Stamp Gang Magical Shakers in Polka Purple and Guten Tag Teal. And I'm going to apply them in my favorite way to apply watery media with a piece of acetate. I just spray my acetate with water and then sprinkle those powders right on my little piece of acetate and smoosh that all over my paper. I kind of just feel like it gives more of like an organic edge, and it's fun to do. So once that's dry, I'm going to take my deep violet Liquitex acrylic ink and I'm going to apply some to the top and the bottom. So I just put a little strip across the top. It's super pigmented, so I'm going to spray some water to get that flowing and moving around. And I don't want the other page to have that purple, so I make sure to take care of that. And I was able to wipe it away because there's a layer of gesso on it, and I have to get the cat hair off of my project. I also did a layer at the bottom as well, the same as what I did at the top. So I'm going to take my sand and buff acrylic paint by Dina Wakley Media, and I'm also going to take some Distress Oxide Spray in Ice Spruce, and I have these ghost die cuts. They're from the Frightful Things die set by Tim Holtz, and I just die cut them out of watercolor paper, and I'm going to apply my acrylic paint with a little paintbrush in a kind of spotty way, and my mat had like purple on it because who cleans between doing projects? Am I right? So it had a little purple on there. So I just applied that to all of my ghosts. I dried that layer, and then I'm going to spray some of the ice spruce, add a little bit of water, and dip my ghosts into that oxide spray. I'm not trying to cover them completely because I want them to have a little bit of white left because they are ghosts, but I didn't want them to be completely white and look like boring, you know? So then I'm going to take my, wow, I just had a brain lapse. Distress ink spray in, no, Distress ink in Black Soot. Jeez Louise. And I'm going to go around the edges. It's kind of hard because there's a lot of really like fine details with their little tattered bottoms there and around their mouths. So I'm going to scoosh some out on my nonstick craft sheet, add a little bit of water, and use a paintbrush to get in those tough to get into areas. And using the water kind of helps the Distress ink kind of blend into the ghost and not look like so stark. And then I'm going to add a little bit more water and then do some really fine splatters all over. And the boyfriend wanted to say hi, so that was him waving. And then I'm going to take my muted gray Liquitex acrylic ink, and I don't know what happened to the clip of me applying that, but I just applied it in the same way I did the deep violet, a strip across the top, and then added water to get it flowing. And I only did one on the top, and it's this perfect spooky gray color that has like a little bit of a purple undertone to it, which is fantastic for Halloween. And then I'm going to do some stamping. These are Viva Las Vegas stamps, and the one is Scribble Circle. It's like a circle with some scribble text around it and then number set. And they're not necessarily Halloween stamps, but they work just the same for background stamping. It doesn't really matter. And then I also took one that had like Halloween kind of words to it and stamped that around as well. And then I'm going to take these little girls from the Tim Holtz Halloween pack. And I want the ghosts to like be coming around them, like they're swirling around them. So I'm just going to cut in between where they're connected. And then I'm going to take my Zig Clean Color Real Brush marker in black and go around all the edges so that you can't see any of that white. And then I'm going to give them some washi tape to stand on. This one is kind of like like a pattern, a checkered pattern, and then the other one's like skulls. And then I have this ghost. He's going to be going like in between them and coming up, and I'm going to apply everything, stick everything down with my glossy accents. I'm just going to stick them down first, but while my glue is still wet, I can place the other one, so if I want some of the pieces underneath, I can still lift them up to tuck the ghosts underneath. And I just applied that all around. I thought I wanted this little embellishment cluster that I made, but it seemed like it was too busy, too much for this little area, because it is a little page. So I'm just going to go around them with a white gelato. So I just put a little color down and then smooth that out with my finger. It kind of gives them like a ghastly glow, and it also helps them stick up from the background so that they don't get lost, because the background is pretty dark and they're dark as well. And then I'm going to take one of those Tim Holtz Halloween clippings phrases. I don't remember what it says. We can find out together at the end. But honestly, most of the time it doesn't really matter even what it says. And then I'm going to take my Zig Clean Color Real Brush marker in Scarlet Red, because as I was looking at the page, I liked it like a lot, but I felt like it needed a little bit of contrast. So I thought orange would be a really nice contrast. It's also a Halloween color. So I'm just going to use my marker to color in some areas on their little dresses. It didn't really work out that well. Like it didn't look like it was part of them. It looked like it was sitting on top. And I know that you can use like distress markers. I don't think I have a couple, but I don't know where they are, and I don't really use them. So I was really trying to make this work. I put the color down and added some water, but I don't know. In the end, I just kind of let it go. And then I'm going to take some orange and tangerine Bombay India ink, Dr. P.H. Martin's, for some splatters that, because I didn't want that orange on their dresses to be the only orange on the page. And neither one of these was like perfect in my opinion, so I'm just going to mix them together to create the perfect orange. So I'm just going to put a little bit out on my craft sheet, and then I'm going to cover up their little heads, their arms, the ghost that's in between them, and my words, and add my splatters all over my page. And it's going to get on the ghosts and the background and their dresses, but as long as it's not on their face and the words, then it's fine with me. But for some reason, it did get on their little faces. So I'm going to take care of that, but then that is it for this page. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye, guys.